What's up, guys? Pittsburgh Weiss Schwarz back again with some more Konosuba Legend of Crimson set review for you. Today we are going to talk about the red cards. I'm sure there will be a number of points of contention along the way.
Always is.
I am here joined by Carmen and Andy, just the three of us today.
What's up?
Hello.
And I think that's about it. Let's jump right into it. Andy, start us off with this coin flip.
We got Union. Discard plays from hand to stage. Mill 2. 1,000 power times number of characters. Adventure or magic. Beginning of opponent's draw step. Reveal top card of your library. If it's a level 1 or higher card, you can pop this back to your hand. This card sucks. Contend me.
Possible 3/5 on your turn coin flip seems pretty good.
Yeah, oversized, swing in, kill something, pop back, do it again, mill 2 cards for free.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Later in the game kind of sucks because it's force mill. I think that's the big downside.
That is the big downside.
Doesn't this seems like it fills the same deck spot as Swimsuit Mega Me.
Swimsuit, yeah.
Yeah, it's
both
like
3,500. They both coin flip back to your hand.
They both mill your climaxes.
I hate to say it, but I feel like Swimsuit is better. Oh, and I hate that card so much. I feel like they both have drawbacks in different ways.
Yeah. I think maybe the Swimsuit's better because it's an actual early play condition. This can actually deny the reverse though.
Yeah, it depends what you're looking for.
Because it pops back.
If you need like first deck speed and you can be confident that you won't have to field this in the late game, or you will be able to play around the forced mill. Like, even cards like Saya, like the drop salvager Saya, like, those can feel bad sometimes because they're force mill.
I guess the nice thing with this, though, compared to Swimsuits is you can control the mill on this one. Like, you can play it when you want to.
I guess, but if you want to play it, you have to mill.
Right. It's mandatory mill.
It's mandatory mill in a different way. I don't know.
I guess you have the initiative with it, though. I think I like this better because it actually pops back and denies the reverse.
It also has a higher percent chance to hit, like, in general. Level 0 and level 1. Or no, level 1 or higher is more than just level, 2 or higher most of the time in terms of your deck building.
I mean, you could always just be me and forget your coin flip triggers, so...
I think it's fine, but
yeah, it's fine. It's
a choice. It's a choice. I give it a B+. It's better than a normal coin flip for sure.
I think I agree with B+.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Now, what I think it really comes down to, though, is do you want to run Detonative Dame or not? If you're running Dame, you obviously have to run Swimsuit.
No way.
But
Dame's canceled.
Hey, Dame is sick.
No, Dame is canceled, dude.
Carmen is a notorious.
Hey, it's not just me. Check out WSI, dude. Every Konosuba deck, not a single Dame. Not a single Dame to be seen.
Clearly, it's because I wasn't invited to the Weiss Schwarz invitation.
But no, I think what cancels Dame is the early play we'll see in a couple cards. I think there's actually no reason to run the card anymore. So
I have SP Dames. I don't have SSP Union early plays.
Even without that, I think this and the Swimsuit are like pretty comparable. And if you don't like the on-play force mill and you need a +0, you play the Swimsuit. And if you don't care, like, I don't know, Konosuba might be a deck where you don't even run a field plus anymore, depending on the build, since, like, it's such a greedy deck, and you have stuff like Snakwa.
Maybe.
Depends. It might be like Slime. You just, like, don't run any, like, troop field pluses.
I have a lot of brewing to do.
Yeah. I would like to... I think that's where we'll end it on this card. This is the first card. We always have to talk about the first card longer than we ever should. I implore people brewing in new Konosuba to forego the like instant I need to play 4 field pluses and think more about like how the field pluses are affecting your deck in terms of running more utility cards, because Wibbs was kind of preaching this when we did the Slime cast, but like you really have to think about how they're affecting the like overall like deck. How much does it bring down the floor of the deck to include these cards that you only play at level 0? Like, what are you going to do with them elsewhere? Konosuba is getting to the point where it has stuff that's so good that you might not even need that turn like 0+ to like keep going, Or like you can just like play Ricky or something, or like you can play ambush and get your Megumin to hand, and like that's good enough, and you can like just keep rolling whatever build you decide to build. So
No,
you don't need just like
has some very solid level zeros.
You don't need like a vanilla runner or like a vanilla oversize when all your utility cards also have like good effect, like livability effects stapled on them, maybe too.
Exactly.
True. But yeah, I just wanted to let that go before we move on, since I think people will look at this and be like, "Oh, I don't have to play swimsuit anymore." But the on-play force mill could be bad later on, or it could be good. It's up to you. You make the choice. That was yellow. That was the last video. All right.
Yeah, no more choice. Let's talk about Gate.
All right. There you go,
we
Brian.
have To the Crimson Demon Village, Megumin and Union. When you play a climax, if that climax is a door, choose one of your characters. That character gets an extra soul until the end of turn. This is when you play a climax, right? Now when you
play the door.
Okay. And it's a rest 1 salvage brainstorm.
This has extremely good synergy with the new level 1 combo, which is a twin drive and pop back, so it helps you side. Really good, which is off a door at level 1. Notably, playable self-rest brainstorm, salvage, and a relevant color, whereas so I guess yellow wasn't previously relevant, where we had the Chris, but Chris was only adventurer. This is salvage anything. The fact that you have a salvage any character, no straight restricted self-tap brainstorm opens up deck building space in the set by a good bit.
Nope.
This card existing is a big reason why you can play decks with the new Aqua top end. You can play stuff like the Darkness thing and not really feel bad about it. You don't have to run mono yellow. You can put this in the deck. It's just a normal brainstorm. Even if you're not running doors, self-rest salvage, always very good. I know it's my brainstorm of choice. Some people prefer search, but
it definitely opens up a lot more deck building options, since you don't have to run like rest 2 brainstorms or anything suboptimal. It's kind of interesting to see the plus of soul on climax play with Gate though.
Yeah, because it's already a 1K one.
Yeah, I've only really ever seen that effect with the 2K draw triggers.
Yeah, or otherwise things that like don't spread soul, like standby. I think is where
standby. Pop the hand, give something a soul. Man, why don't they print 2K draw a card in Konosuba? Broken.
They only print 2K draw. I thought you said they only print 3K splits, dude.
No, 2K draw. That's where it's at.
Always pluses every time.
Cantrips, yeah.
I love when my climax pluses before I do anything. Oh man.
Notably with this though, you can even if you don't want the soul pump in your front row, you can just put it on a back row card or whatever. So
you don't have to.
But I mean, I guess if your field is only 3 characters in the front row, you have to give it to something. So
assuming this card is in the front row, yes.
In the context of KS, I'm going to give this an actual A. It's just a normal brainstorm. The first effect is good with the new level 1 combo. That's completely dependent on if you're playing Gate or whatever, but this is a card that Konosuba really needed, as opposed to all the cards that it got that it didn't need in places where it was already strong. This was a profile they actually did not have and desperately needed to make other builds work, so I'm happy they have it.
Yeah, rest 1 brainstorm, absolutely something they needed.
The big thing is that it doesn't target a trait, I think, honestly. Even if this was search, you'd run it, I think. The other ones are all restricted somehow.
I would grade this higher than an A if its other effect weren't tailored specifically to door climaxes. If it did something more general.
If it was more generic, yeah.
Yeah. Alright. Move on. Got this Wiz 0, 2 or more other characters with adventure or magic gains 1,000 power, so 2/5 cross turn. And then on play, ditch a card. If so, look at up to 4 cards. Oh, wait, stage to waiting room. 4 cards from the top of your library. Search for 1 level 1 or higher card, reveal it. So this is a on death. This is a Cheery for level 1 or higher cards. So it hits on events. Damn. Where's Drew? This level 1 or higher cards.
Yeah, grabs events.
Adds it to your hand. Put the rest in waiting room. So this is another Cheery. Notably, the other Cheery only grabs adventure or magic. Or no, only grabs magic, correct? Only magic. Because if it could grab adventure, it could get aqua. And we all know We all know about Aqua.
Yeah.
You can't grab Aqua off Cheery.
Can't grab Aqua, yeah.
So this does hit on anything, but it doesn't hit on Snaqua. Never lucky. Can never grab Snaqua. But yeah, I guess if you're in a deck,
What's the name for these effects?
Cheery.
Kind of, well, no. Like Fuka Zero is like this, and Gun Gale, like the ones where you on.
Yeah, it's still Cheery.
For a level 1 or higher, they still
Yeah,
call
it's
it
still
Cheery.
Cheery. Yeah.
Okay.
Level 1 or higher, or character. Depending on your deck, you might choose to run this one, or you might choose to run the other one. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'm sensing a theme here. There's a lot of people were worried at first that Konosuba, like, oh my god, they're getting so many good new cards. They're going to be so overpowered now. But there really is the limit.
They're like slightly different things.
It's like, shit, I lost my train of thought. You fucking threw me off when
I'm
you started
sorry.
talking there, dude. Shit. Oh yeah, okay, I got it back. So like, when you yeah, okay. So when you have so many good cards, you can only run so many in a deck. So
Right.
like, even though they have this and the ambush, right? Even though they have the coin flipper and the swimsuit Megamine, it's like, are you really gonna want to run 8 copies of all that stuff? Because that means
Right,
you're taking
exactly.
out,
Yeah. It's giving
all
you
the other
choices.
stuff.
Yeah,
Giving you
gives more
options.
variety. It doesn't necessarily make it better. It just makes the set more diverse.
I mean, if you want to grab a level 1 event, and you want Mill, run this card. Like, it's a shame Drew couldn't join us for this one, but yeah, these are the kind of consistency effects we were actually talking about.
He's slamming like on his keyboard
in the
now, like
previous
you
video.
all should be doing. Hit like and
Dude.
subscribe.
I can't give a Cheery like just a B. I think it has to be it's a straight A. Cheery's too strong. 2,500 power Cheery, like vanilla stats Cheery. You have 2 or more other. It's a card you want to die anyway, so if you don't fulfill conditions, whatever. This is the same as the slime one. Like, Konosuba already has a ton of mill, but like, if you want to play like a weirder deck and you run events and stuff, like after that whole discussion we had at the end of the yellow video, you know what? I'll give this the A. I think it's a good consistency tool. Every deck I've run these level 1 or higher Cheeries and I've enjoyed playing them, so and they've always felt good. So
I mean, yeah, good to have in decks where you want them, where there's cards you want to grab off of them.
and I mean, if you don't want them, you can play the other one. There's 2.
I've always felt like I've always looked at people playing the Fuka Zeros and the look for level 1 or higher. It just seems like I feel like I'd want to play this turn 1, and like if I desperately need another level 0 or something to play next turn. This can't grab that for me, which is
they're
kind
a
of
little
like
different
upsetting.
than normal Cheeries. But the other Cheery in Konosuba is more restrictive. It only grabs magic, so which thankfully in that deck is like the whole deck. But this is a little bit different. You use them in a little different way, but they do have they've utility all game, mill.
Oh man, imagine grabbing your seizures off this.
You
Yeah,
could.
that's the thing you can
Imagine
do.
Oh, no.
grabbing your destroyer alert off of this card. Oh my
Ooh.
god.
Whoa.
Yeah. Or your hee
Cabbage
ho ho
deck-
hee
cabbage
ho
deck incoming.
hee ho.
Oh, this grabs ho ho too. Yeah.
Yeah, grabs anything. Broken. All right, moving on. Very cool card.
This is probably the Megamine combo that everyone's talking about.
Yep.
Is Carmen everyone?
During your turn, she gets 1,000 power. What?
Am I everyone? Oh, no, go ahead.
Yeah, 5,500, whatever. Combo with teasing. If you have another adventure or magic character, whatever. Until the next end of opponent's turn, this gets 2 effects. On attack, pay 1 twin drive, and on front attack, bounces the hand.
Stop advertising in your box, Brian. Brian will buy all your shiny shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Reach out to him on literally any social media platform. He'll buy
Leave
them.
a like and a sub and a comment saying which SP you'd like to sell Brian.
So yeah, this is the other combo, the one of choice for the. Well, I guess there's no choice. It's a combo you can choose to run.
Yeah.
This works better with the other new cards in the set that are quote unquote overspec, that like work with specific cards where they have lower costs, where it's like a ditch 1 anti-change, but you have to ditch a specific card, and a 5-card Akatsuki on play, which can only ditch one of 2 specific cards. We'll get to those. But because it allows you to run 8 doors, because you're running the other top end, and it requires all those cards, so obviously if you're running those cards, you're going to run the new top end. It synergizes very well because Twin Drive with 8 doors is like pretty absurd in terms of like how much selectivity you get over the course of the game. This card bounces back to your hand. You can run cards to get you back into the climax. If you're running Pants in any way with Twin Drive, if you're running like the new Aqua top end, it has good synergy with that, since you can also Twin Drive that out, get back another door for the following turn, since they pop back to hand. These cards are only really super good when they have a lot of cards around them to facilitate like looping them and getting extra value off of just, this card definitely guarantees pluses as long as you don't ram it into something. And of course, that extra soul from the door brainstorm that we just saw helps you side over stuff if you can't get reverses. It really helps make these cards better when they have a lot of things to support them. And they're off good triggers.
Like, be more common too. You were saying earlier, like Saikano has it.
Off bar,
a lot of stuff coming to English too, I think is going to start having this sort of trigger effect. This is something we don't really have a whole lot of in English right now.
Yeah, this is a JP thing. I think this is the first one. Well, we had the Koga, but it had to get a reverse, right? Didn't the
Koga needs a reverse, and then it pops something else plus itself back to hand.
Yeah. So we've had that effect, but we haven't had this one.
This is a generic effect that you see in a lot of sets.
Yeah, the most notable ones are this one and obviously Saikano. Saikano's like they like play, but that one's also off bar and has Twin Drive, so it like loops itself. It's a little bit more ridiculous, I guess.
That's what it boils down to. Is like this is pretty good. This is a good combo.
Yeah.
Bunny Girl's also a good combo. Which one do you run? Do you run this or do you run Bunny Girl? I think that's where there's going to be a lot of.
I think it depends on the top end.
I don't think there's going to be like a solved Konosuba
deck looks like.
I think the big thing here is like if you're running this, you're really incentivized to run the Brainstorm. Because you're incentivized to loop the card and then run cards to help you loop the card, whether it be Kome, whether it be Climax. Like you're probably running Climax switch in every single list, so that's not really a deck building constraint. But like this kind of de-incentivizes you from running the old top end, or like you'd have to run the old top end in lower counts because you want to run the Brainstorm as well. Because this card isn't going to be winning board past your first level 1 turn, but the problem is you usually don't need to win board because you have the extra soul and Twin Drive. So
I see what you mean.
Yeah, so it's like it kind of warps your deck building a little bit, and like unfortunately the deck building that you have at 0 can really influence what your top end is.
You could always just play Megumin without
without the combo
the union that bonds to it.
Yeah, you could. I mean,
I know that's
you'd want to, but yeah,
you don't have to.
I mean, I like that this card, it like opens up this 8 gate list a lot more because it gives you a way to consistently pay out the gates. Whereas, like, I don't know, I'm sure we've all had some sort of experience with GGO where it's like, damn, triggering these gates feels super good, and they're there forever. I can't pay them out. This is very cool.
I guess one more thing, like, I guess personally, I think the Union's better than this. Which one do you guys think is better?
It depends on your
Bunny
top
Girl's
end.
Better than this.
Yeah, I think it depends on what you're playing for the rest of your deck. I think, having seen what I've seen of this set so far, I plan to continue playing basically the same deck with Bunny Girl at level 1 into the vanilla Konosuba 1/2 Climax Fumio Clock Shoot finisher.
I'm going to try the new stuff, but I have a sneaking suspicion that the old stuff might be better for English. Lots of testing will need to be done. There's also the deck that I really want to play, which is the Aqua top end, the greedy deck, the 5-door 3-pants deck.
That's too spicy.
It's not even spicy, man. I thought it was spicy too, but it's super real. It feels a lot like those JP lists that can really pivot into what kills your opponent better, and you get to choose. You make a lot of deck building concessions for that, but running this card specifically in that list, because you're running the new Aqua top end, so you have Pants. Because you have Twin Drive, your chances to actually take advantage of your trigger lineup are like magnified by so much, especially because you're like looping the combo.
Yeah. If you're playing this combo, you definitely want to be aiming to trigger something that you can profit off of.
This also opens up your back row. This opens up your colors a lot more playing this at level 1. Union and like the old Mega Man top end really like. It doesn't seem like it. They really restrict your colors because Union doesn't get power unless you're all magic.
Yeah, Union
like,
shoehorns you into magic.
So like this really opens up your back row. So you get to run like the I talked about it in yellow, the Darkness Takitsubo, which also has on climax play, give 1,000 power. Really good synergy with this card. Can run like a dual color back row. You don't have to feel bad. Run like strong cards that you didn't look at from set 0. So I like that this combo exists. I don't think it's actually an A, but definitely like a B+, A-.
Yeah, I think
it's
I agree.
It's in there.
B+.
It's
definitely mixes a lot better if you want to play a mixed band deck.
It opens up deck building space, and that's what I like. I think people were expecting like us to get to red, and me especially to like rage like a bitch at every single fucking card. But like I don't know. After messing with the set, testing with the set, stuff like that, I'm not angry. It's just like I'm just kind of embracing it. Maybe I have Stockholm syndrome. It's more fun to build in KS now, I guess.
I mean, I'm embracing it.
We knew. We always knew.
In case that wasn't obvious, yeah.
All right, well, let's move on to this card. Is this you, Brian? Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about this card. Early plays at level 2 if you have 2 or fewer climaxes in waiting room. If you have 2 or more other adventurer or magic trait characters, it sits at 10-5 and gets hand on core, and it heals on play.
Gee, this looks familiar.
I'm puking.
Yeah, this card's pretty neat.
The good thing, well, good or bad or however you want to interpret it, and I just talked on the last card about how I wasn't going to complain. Well, I'm complaining. This card is splashable in no matter what deck that you play. If you look at it, it actually doesn't care about anything. The only characters it doesn't hit on is like Eris. That's
and
it.
Like Sylvia.
Yeah, like Eris and Sylvia. Those are the only 2 characters that this card restricts you, and you wouldn't be playing
those decks.
Like a lot of that anyway.
Kind of shoehorn you pretty hard into either mono blue or into blue yellow.
Well, and this one doesn't even matter. It's 2 or more other. Can you put 2 Aquas on the field in an Eris deck? Sure.
Well, I guess I'm saying like you probably aren't going to have red in your deck. Like,
hell, dude, you could run this in Sylvia, man. Just run 4 of this and like the Brainstorm and like the Takitsubo in the back row. You're done. It's 2 adventurers.
I mean, in Sylvia, you're playing Cosmos anyway. So.
But yeah, I think
is it worth splashing just for 10-5 hand on core heal?
Yes, that's what I was gonna get to. So the thing with these and how they work is that what they effectively do is turn every single junk card that you draw into a 2-soul beater after you put it on the board. And and for your opponent to deal with it, they have to hard remove it from the field in some way. Decks that can do that would mean any deck that chooses to give up deck slots to run a bomb, which some decks can do easily, but other decks can't, and then or re-zero, hard removing it from the field, and that's like it. That's like it. So
I guess it's like, there's lots of good early plays though, like the Darkness Merge from Yellow.
Yeah,
was like that also had a pretty easy early play condition. It also sat at a pretty big power level and also had a climax combo on top of it and looked at 3 cards when you played it. So I think there's I think it's wrong to just say hand on core early play healer, it's the best thing ever. I think they're really good, though.
I was gonna say that. I was about to say hand on core early play healer, best thing ever, S+. Like I mean, I'm giving this card an S tier rating.
It's pretty good, yeah.
I think I gave the same thing to the Shizu and Slime, and if I didn't then, after playing into Slime a lot more and playing with the set, it's an S now. I think these are extremely oppressive in any modern deck, and Konosuba was the last deck that ever needed this card. And what's cool about the Hand Encore, when we talk about the next card, is that the next card, the Climax combo, the new finisher, requires this card to be on field. So, like, not only is it broken on its own, it feeds into its own finisher combo. Like,
yeah, turns out being able to stick around with Hand Encore is pretty cool.
it's also literally a free condition to KS because they have such a, like, free condition. Because, like, they have so much deck manipulation. Like, there's no way that you, like, don't hit this when you want to. Unless you're low rolling so unbelievably hard. Like, the fact that literally every junk card you have in your hand is just like, oh, well, keeping up my 2 soul beater this turn, and see if you deal with it again. Like, and you think, oh, it's only 10-5, but I think the 2-1 support, which we'll talk about when we get to blue, really puts it like over the edge because you can hard remove your opponent's stuff for free while also having this sit at 12-5. Whereas the one in Slime is just like a tap filter. The other one is like it disrupts your opponent's field. It makes it harder for them to answer you on the swing back, which is like pretty disgusting. So it's like a combined effect. Like Konosuba was the last set that needed a card like this, yet they got one. All right, I'm done bitching. I think this is like the one card that I'll actually fucking complain about. It's too fucking good.
Yeah, it doesn't get the S from me. I'm not going to concede that early play Encore healers are the end-all, be-all, best early plays there are, but
they are damn good.
I think they are I think they're the best positioned right now, at the very least.
Well, the other thing is they get to do literally the Slime thing because they have the Aqua, so they get to, like, if they have one character live back going into level 2, they play a Union. Then they heal to stop.
You're not going to be able to loop this as well as you could the Shizu's, though.
No.
The Shizu's early play condition is constant. As you go through your deck, you'll end up with more climaxes.
This, if your opponent answers it with a bomb or something, you're probably not playing another one. But then, if they extended to kill that one, maybe they couldn't kill Aqua, and then they can play another Mesmerizing Water Goddess. They like,
I mean, there's other benefits, though, to this, because it's a free condition as opposed to having to run all these like events and stuff. So, and they're both good. It's just like probably not as loopable as the Shizu.
Yeah, definitely not as loopable. But it still gives it like the 3-stock double heal, which is pretty good. All right, I guess we can move on. Just a dumb card. Like if you're gonna buy any card from the set to improve your existing Konosuba deck, you buy a playset of this card.
Yeah, gonna be a cool $40.
I don't know, dude. Mesmerizing Water Goddess is $45 now for a base rarity copy.
It's better than Mesmerizing, so.
Yeah, true. But also new and hopefully printed more. We'll see.
We'll see.
All right, so this one's me. This is the Megumin that goes with the Union that we just seen. This is the new finisher, the new door, the one that everybody talked up on Twitter, or not Twitter, but also Facebook, everything. People were talking about this a lot. So on play, you ditch your card. It's a stock healer. Which is pretty good. Better than normal. Gets around anti-heal. And feeds into its cost, because it's pretty expensive. On Climax play, you have to pay 3 and sack this Climax and rest this exact Union that we saw in the last slide in the front row. They both have to be in the front row. At the beginning of your attack phase, you do that. And if you do, your opponent chooses a Climax in their waiting room. Returns all cards from their waiting room to their deck, other than just that card. Place all characters opposite to the characters rested for this ability into your opponent's clock, so you clock kick first, unlike the previous Union, and then deal 3 to your opponent twice. So, for the very low cost of pay 3, sack your Climax, rest 2 of your front row characters, you get to clock kick, burn 3 twice, as well as a 1-card Fumio.
How would this work with level ups? So, like, let's say your opponent's at level 2, you do this combo, you clock kick 2 of their characters, and that would send them up to like level 3. But it would also like refresh them at the same time with the climax.
Well, no, you refresh before damage occurs. The Fumio effect happens before damage.
The climax shuffles back first, but what if they're at like 2-6 and you like clock
2-6?
I guess they would have to level up between, right?
Well, no, it's a free fresh. Fumio is a free fresh as your opponent. Fumio free freshes your opponent, so they don't take refresh point. Then they clock kick 1, level up, clock kick the second one, burn 3, burn 3.
Right.
So if
I
they're
think I just answered my own question, or am I reading it?
if they're at 2/6, this is exact
Never mind.
lethal. In terms of the expected, like the damage output of the card. It's 8 damage expected with one card from you on top. So the big thing here, reading it out, I hope everybody like understood it effectively. This is Fumio and the double Megumin in one card. Well, I guess it's 2 cards. But it's off door, which means that you're not going to get extra stock going into your finishing turn. So might have to bump that snot count to 4 to make sure that you can pay for this, or otherwise not pay out as much stock. So the Union costing 2 and keeping it up, even though this is a stock killer, the stock crunch is going to be a little harder. But you only are going to be able to resolve one of this because you sack the climax. So you're only doing 1.
You know what's awkward with this though too is that the Fumio effect is mandatory.
Yep.
I
was just going to talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, with seizure, you can just choose not to do it if your opponent's in a bad deck state. You're probably not. I would imagine you're probably not running seizure in this deck.
You probably run 2 of it just for the ability to counter with it because you can screw over your opponent's finishers.
Combos with it, yeah.
But
see, I feel like I wouldn't run seizure. I feel like
it depends on how you use it as a player.
I would be incentivized to take the seizures out of my deck.
If you're a player that never sculpts to hold it to, deny your opponent, and that's never your intention, and you're like always more focused on like, oh, well, I'm just gonna build a bigger finisher and never deal with it. That's like a player choice. You can like choose to not run seizure and like go more into the other payoff cards for running this, which we'll get into, which I think are what are the real reason to run this over the effect itself are the fact that you don't have to run 2 Fumio. You only have to run like 2 of this Megumin. You can only ever field 1. And you're Konosuba. You can select for a 2-card characters.
Right.
Like, you could run even 1 if you wanted to be super greedy. But you don't have to run a lot of this. You don't have to run as much of old Fumio. You probably still run 1 because it's broken and has anti-backup, anti-event, anti-backup. So it's a useful card no matter what for like killing your opponent in the mid-game. But it opens up more deck space, and there's a lot of cards that I said, like there's an anti-change, there's an Akatsuki that have synergy with these 2 specific cards being pitched to make costly effects cheaper, or already strong effects stronger. And I think that's what makes them maybe something you want to consider over the old combo, but there's so much testing that needs to be done into specifically like English stuff to see how this works out, to see if that trade-off is worth it. Like, and it's not going to be like, oh, I'm going to play this one week, I'm going to play this the next week, and I'll figure it out. It's going to be like months of testing to figure out which one feels best depending on the meta environment.
You mean which is better, this or the original one?
Because it's a whole package, right? It like changes the deck entirely because of the payoff cards that you get for running this.
I remembered why I was like people were so hyped about this card originally is the fact that it does not choose characters. It gets around Armin and Attack on Titan. It just selects all characters opposite without targeting. So even if they have Big Armin out giving hexproof, the clock kicks still go off with this, where they would not with the other Megumin.
True.
I think that in English specifically, this is going to be the finisher of choice.
Well, I think that Konosuba players...
AOT is still a big deal.
It is, but I feel like Konosuba players, at least the good ones, have learned how to play into AOT, which is you just build for... what is it? You just build for like Fumio burn 5s and stuff like that. Because like in terms of the numbers and how you do it, like it's not as debilitating your strategy as you'd think. And like there's still always a third lane. And if they crash that, then they're opening up direct damage for you, which in some cases could also lose you the game. So like
to be honest, the reason I play AOT is because I think Konosuba is such a ridiculous deck, and the fact that
It does feel good to deny Union all the time.
You have a reverse combo at level, like the way the deck is now. They have Union's a reverse combo at level 1, and then Armin shuts off the finisher. So that's like, definitely Konosuba's worst matchup before. I would be going as far as saying it's maybe their only bad matchup before.
I think they have even matchups because
even matchups, but they're only
AOT is by far their only losing matchup.
But now, like, KS does have this new 8-door deck where
the level 1 combo is not on reverse.
Yeah, and denies Aaron's reverse.
Doesn't care about Armin.
And denies Aaron reverse because they pop back to hand if they get to level 1 first.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's catharsis right there. You get to hit them.
Yeah.
They've been hitting you with for years.
I do think that I don't want to say it's invalid to say the AOT thing. I just after watching so much like Konosuba like play into AOT, like higher levels, like Weiss Schwarz Invitational was good. In terms of like, I don't know exactly how many matchups of that we saw. I don't know if it was really any notable ones, but like especially stuff with like Worlds and just like people playing games and things like that, things that I've seen. I think that like there definitely are a bazillion things Konosuba can do to like actually play the matchup, and if it's unfavored, like a 55-45 at worst, because like going for the burn 5 Fumio.
I think it's more slanted than that.
Dude, the burn 5 Fumio is like actually just good enough to kill any deck and doesn't require anything, and it's super easy for them to build for. Because it's still really hard for like any deck to play around everything at the same time.
AOT never really felt.
I'm not gonna say it's good.
By Fumio and stock swap, because they never really built up a mountain of stock anyway.
Well, it's not so much the stock swap; it's the Fumio part of it.
No,
it's hard for AOT to not have a grave.
Yeah, I mean, in a lot of matchups, it's absurd how many times you can just Fumio vanilla swing somebody and they just die.
Yeah, and that's basically the burn 5 is basically improved vanilla swings.
Yeah, exactly.
Because 5 on a Fumio deck is just as good as swinging 3, or even 2, depending on the deck state. Like versus.
I suppose, but you still got to stick a 5 and.
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm not saying it's like a favored matchup for Konosuba like before this. I think now it's probably definitely 50-50, if not Konosuba favored. Like if you're looking at the new deck, probably 50-50. AOT is strong.
Part of the reason Konosuba is so good though is because of its like consistency, like with the bunny or not ambush union to always look at 4 cards and always hit with it, and like the Megami finisher, it's bonded to by the ambush union and digs 3 on play, and that seems like a more consistent deck overall, and adding this combo would give you a much better matchup against AOT. Would it lower the floor for the rest of your matchups?
I think we'll see as we move on that there are more than enough payoffs to try running this.
I mean, do you see what I mean though? Like,
yeah. Like looking at it without looking at the other pieces, where you don't like there's nothing to gain other than the targeted thing, and like better burn numbers, like you're burning for 3, right? You're Fumioing for 1 but burning for 3. So give and take. But the big thing is the deck slots and the other cards that you get that specifically ditch these cards to get like stronger effects, which I think means that we should rate this and probably move into those before we just go in circles and like probably have to come back and talk about it again anyway. I think it's strong.
Yeah, like an A- maybe.
Yeah, I think I'm around there. A-. A- B+.
As an AOT player, I'm very conflicted because when rating that the Megami combo at level 1, I was just saying I think it's worse than Union, right?
Yeah, but
I think I have to lower myself to a Konosuba player's standards. I have to like, think like a mongrel. I have to So like if I was playing Konosuba, I'd maybe like the Bunny Girl and original combo better. But as an AOT player, that's what I'm hoping everyone else thinks too. So I don't have to play into this.
I'm not afraid of anything, but this scares me.
Yeah, basically. But I think it's a solid combo. Like either
Yeah.
one is good.
Like, I think at the end of the day, would either of you fault literally anyone for playing either of the builds into
No,
an
absolutely-
event? No,
absolutely
like
not.
the answer is no. Like, I don't think there's a wrong choice. There's a preference choice.
Yeah, I mean, what I could see is the new 8-gate build rising in popularity solely because the set is new and people have access to it now. They just
Well,
price set it.
I think it gets popular because people fucking hate AOT.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's why we're gonna see so much memories now. Even if it's like, it's fine. It's a fine,
Even if
good.
it's a little subpar, maybe.
Yeah, it's a fine deck. Like, totally fine, totally good deck. And when I say fine, I mean, like, it's high A. Like, it's good deck. But, we're gonna see a lot more of it because people could go, "Oh my god, I'm sick of AOT." Blah blah blah. Despite there's literally one person at their locals playing AOT, and it's the person that like regularly gets top 8 at regionals. Just like in my experience, most people complaining about it. But you know what are you gonna do? Card games are emotional things. Everybody's emotional. All right, let's move on.
All right, whose card is this?
This is mine.
Yep.
You got the homegirl Union. She is 500 power, and she's also a brainstorm. Flip over top 4 cards. Each climax, salvage a character.
Salvage ditch.
Brainstorm.
Spammable.
Oh, wait, spammable. I was gonna say, like, it's weird that they have this and the Mega Mean Brainstorm.
It's a good tech. Fine.
Yeah, it's
having spammable brainstorms is nice, but
yeah, I'm just gonna give it a
I don't
C.
see a good reason to run it, especially if you're running the twin drive Mega Mean combo. You should have enough space to get your stock cleaned out.
What I do like about it is that it's not trait restricted in any way. Just salvage ditch any character, just like the other one. So if you did want to run a spammable, you didn't have to worry about looking for anything. This card doesn't has adventure trait, so you can run in anything. Adventure or magic. It's just a one-stop shop for your spammable brainstorm needs.
Yep.
Moving on.
All
There you go, Brian.
we've got, Someday, the Ultimate Explosion, Mega Mean. When this card is placed on the stage from your hand, you may pay the cost, which is discard one of the 2 pieces of the climax combo that we just looked at. If you do look at up to 5 cards from the top of your deck, choose an adventure or magic character from among them, show it to your opponent, put it in your hand, and this gets 1,000 power till the end of turn.
Damn. As if Akatsuki wasn't good enough.
Akatsuki gets 1,000 power, but only
I'm starting to come around on this build.
I told you, it's just like we gotta look at some of these payoff cards. They're just like they're nuts.
Pretty nutty. If you're playing the 8-gate deck with the finisher we just looked at, this card's pretty nutty.
Yeah.
Well, Carmen, you were saying you were thinking maybe 2 of the Mega Mean.
Yeah, it depends on your deck building.
4 of each.
Yeah, it depends on what you're trying to do. In greedier decks, I was saying that like you have the ability to run less of them. However, if you're running this card at 4, you're running 4 of the other 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Or at least 3, probably. You could probably get away with 4 unions, 3 Mega
because I feel like 4 unions is probably like that's pretty easy to accommodate, but however many of the actual finisher you want to run when you can only field 1 is more up in the air, variable.
Like, I don't know, dude. 5-card on play Akatsuki, it swings at 3K. It's like disgusting.
That's pretty stupid, yeah.
I think it really depends how bad like the cost is for you, the deck, like how consistent it is.
Maybe it's a little less good early though too, because that means
you would have to hold them.
It's like turn 1, like a 3K is really good early on at countering an opponent's level 0. That's the threshold that 3,000 is good at, is beating a level 0, and that's definitely most relevant on turn 1, I'd say.
Yeah.
But that would, for you to have that combo set up, you would have to keep this and one of the other. It incentivizes you to keep the level 3s over Mulligan, which is a little
not
sus.
good. Like the other, like the flip side to it is that if you're running like 4 and 4 or 4 and 3,
don't you just fucking hate it when you mulligan and draw all your level 3s?
Yeah, this like
this card.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. When you like draw clock on your first turn, just like, well, get rid of this, top check 5, get fucked, idiot. Like, grab literally anything, swing for 3. I mean, the upside, the benefits of the card are very high, but like Andy said, I can remember back to when I was playing that Yukina that was like Resonate for 3k and bottom deck, and it's like a hand filter or whatever.
Oh, I remember
and
that thing, yeah.
Yeah, I was high on that thing for a while, and then I was like, wait, why am I holding this fucking level 3 in my opening hand? Like,
yeah, exactly.
it's making the rest of my sculpting worse. So this is nowhere near as bad because the upside is so high. This isn't a top check filter. It's a top check 5 and swing for 3. So I think a lot of testing needs done. I'm sure there are hard numbers on this in terms of like
knee-jerk numbers for me. 4 Union, 3 big Megamine, 3 little Megamine. Or 4 Megamine. We'll go 3.
Yeah, 4, 3, 3.
I could live with those numbers, I think. Yeah.
We'd have to run it through the hypergeometric and see what the actual like odds are if like you open one of these and you throw the rest that are not these cards. How many? Like you open up no level 3s and you open one of these. What are the odds that you draw one of these in your like draw clock in their following turn?
I guess it's like
especially if you go first or second. Because if you go second, like those odds go down because like you're taking damage. Like they go down or they go up. Like it could go to clock. So like there are a lot of factors that go into like evaluating how consistently you could play this in your opening turns. Which you know, we talk about like the bad thing about holding one of these level 3s with your intent to ditch it. That's milling 5 cards on first deck on turn 1. Like, provided you don't low roll and hit a bazillion climaxes.
God, if you had 5,
pretty good.
You just scoop or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's a big question. I know, like when I mulligan, I like to be super aggressive, like trying to I'll mulligan other level 0s, you know, just to get to my level 1 combo because I'm confident that I'll
AOT
draw
strat.
more level 0s.
I keep a single 0 and I drop 4 to get this win. Got to get that bread.
Yeah, like usually I'll like to keep like a plussing 0 of some kind and like my level anything related to my 1 combo.
Mm-hmm. Especially if you're running something that you have no way to get into it or you don't have like climax swap tools. Thankfully, Konosuba does have ways to get into its climaxes, so maybe you can afford to be more
a little greedier,
more greedy in your opener. But yeah, we'll have to see.
If you're like really conservative with your mulligans, this is probably for you.
Yeah.
If you're an aggressive mulliganer, maybe not as much.
I think there's a lot of math that needs to be done, and there's also a lot of actual testing that needs to be done, and there needs to be data. And I don't know if I want to do it, but we might have to.
That's a whole can of worms.
Between the two of us, Brian, maybe between the two of us doing lots of testing, we can compile enough data to make a decision on it. But like knee jerk, this seems strong. This seems very good.
Pretty good, yeah.
One of the big best things about Nakatsuki though is that or Nazusa is that you get to discard any card. Like you can get rid of climax.
Yeah, you just throw whatever.
You can only get rid of one of the 2 level.
Which is why it's probably not a 4 of. It's probably a 3 of.
Right.
Like it is like the ultimate filter tool for clog level 3s. Possibly. I mean, like it's the ultimate. Like select for 5 is like that's really good for like filter.
I revoke my statement on ratios from earlier. I think that's completely wrong.
You think 4-3-3 sounds pretty okay?
I'm thinking more like 4-3-2 or 4-2-2. Actually, no.
We'd have to see. I'm sure it's like exponential dips in consistency.
Cash this out like you can in a Akatsuki.
Yeah, I think the problem.
There's gonna be times where it's awkward, where it's like, fuck, I need to go through these last few cards in my deck, but I'm setting up for level 2 and I want the Union, but she's the only thing I can discard.
If my napkin brain like understanding of mathematics is like anywhere near correct, there are going to be exponential drop-offs in consistency for going down to 2 of the level 3 and 2 of this in terms of like how often and how helpful it is. But again, I think there's a lot of math that needs to be done.
Yeah.
Knee jerk, though, I'm going to call it strong. I'm going to give it an A, and I'm going to give it reason to play new combo.
Yeah, I'm going to do like
award.
A minus for maybe not super consistent, but still pretty good.
I'm gonna trust. I'm gonna believe.
Yeah, I don't. I'm like somewhere between like an A minus and a B plus.
It's hard. This is not an easy grade. I don't think. That's why I'm just going with my gut here.
I'll go B plus.
Good spread. I think that was about.
If you want a mill 5 on first deck, you just drop your whole mulligan and draw 5.
Yeah.
Just take 5 first deck, easy. You don't have to play this card.
All right, let's go into our next payoff card here. Me. This Union, looking cute. Discard strongest magic user Megaman, just the finisher one. When it is placed on the stage from hand, you may pay that very high cost, and if so, refresh your deck.
So there's like a lot of cards.
So that's a reason to run 4.
Like a lot of this.
Yeah.
Foggy level 3.
Well, if you think about it, right? Think about the situation. This one is a little bit less committal, I think. So think about it. You're probably sculpting to hold one of these, right? Like one Megaman finisher, right? Just one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so even if you're only ever holding one, if you're in a bad enough deck state to want to free fresh, throwing away that sculpting to free fresh is more than worth it for ditch that card. Especially when it goes back into your newly free fresh deck, where when you run high counts of it, you have a high probability to get it back. So I think this one is super less committal than the rest of them, because you will be sculpting to have one of this anyway past level 1, I think.
Right.
This seems like a one of to me. Like,
yeah, I mean, you don't have to run high counts of this specific card
every game,
but you do have to run high counts of the 3-2. I think it's that specific case that I said that makes it a lot less committal.
Yeah, this does mean you want to be playing at least 3, maybe 4 copies of the Megaman finisher.
I really like this, though. I don't want to just give another A, but this is
I mean, free fresh for cheap.
You play this.
Gotta love it, yeah.
You play this if you're playing the other finisher right. You might even play this if you only play 2, like in a greedier deck.
Maybe.
Well, because I think that case where like you're already sculpting and you grab this because you need it, or you brainstorm and you take this and you free fresh because you're out of bazillion because you like sack canceled at the top. I feel like you'll like easily give up that sculpt.
How much does Konosuba really need a free fresh though?
I mean,
they have so much good like milling power already. Like the old builds have ambush union to.
Well, there's another free fresh. There's a pay 2 free fresh, right? There's a pay 3.
No, I think the Aqua one's a pay 2.
Like
if you wanted to just run that.
Check's a pay 2, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Konosuba has a ton of ways to like churn through their deck as it is. I don't know if they really need it. And if you're running the last card too, you're going through. You could also just play the last card, discard the Megaman, and go through 5 cards.
Well, this does mitigate damage, and say you free fresh and then you double early play, you've effectively healed 3. Because it sets your Megaman your Union early play condition.
You already have so many healers and stuff though. Like I don't even know if it's worth playing one of this.
It sets your early play condition without paying stock, which is pretty strong.
Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, where it's like, say
it gets rid of all your climax.
Yeah, and it gets rid of all your CA. Yeah, so it's like, I don't know. I think if you're playing this, you try running one of it, and you see if like it helps out. I think it is inherently strong. It's like a really cheap free fresh.
But like, do you run the first copy of this over the 4th copy of the?
Well, yeah, it's a deck building thing, right? Like,
yeah, I think it's like 0 or 1.
Yeah, you have to. It's definitely a choice. I think it warrants testing though, because it is. It reads strong, and we like
a deck with 8 gates.
Yeah, in a deck with 8 gates, it seems pretty easy to constantly have this available. If you like trigger a bunch, say you like triple trigger. And like you miraculously cancel, and like you need to like pay out. You can like pay 3, and then grab this off one of your gates. Pay 3, save something, and then like ditch. You know, grab this and the level 3 Megumin. Like if you double trigger and you need to like get the fuck out of dodge on the following turn. Like, I don't know. It seems like a good safety net in like just a 1 card if you're like running heavy in the Megumin. But yeah, card to test. And move on.
Next card, we got this. We got a young Union chowing down.
Is this Komoko?
That's Komoko, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When you pay for the cost of an event in your hand, you can put a marker from under this into your waiting room instead of paying for a stock. You can act and rest this. Oh, no, it's an auto, not an act. I'm sorry. When this is placed from hand to stage, you can immediately rest itself to look at the top card of your deck and put it under this as a marker. And when your other character reverses an opponent's character, choose one of your adventure or magic characters and give them 1,000 power or more.
I think this only gets played in like the 2/1 event deck.
Yeah, this lets you play the event for free.
Yeah. Or if like you would pay the cost of an event in your hand. Wait. Oh, in place of a stock. A stock. Only one. I was like, this does not let you seizure for free. That would be pretty stupid.
One would hope not.
Yeah, and the rolling power I think is pretty shit.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I'm not like a huge fan of that. The 1,000 power when you reverse effect.
No.
Yeah, especially not in KS. I don't think.
Yeah, I think I gotta go with Brian on that one. I don't think it's like an unplayable F, but like I'd be pretty hard pressed to play this.
I mean, it has natural synergy with the event. If you're trying to play some deck with that 2/1 event, you play this probably. But because I think you can sack a Komoko or something with the event. Let me check. What is it? You can. This is Welcome Komoko. Can you get a name check for me, Brian?
The event.
No. What's the name of this card? Welcome Komoko.
This is Omp Komoko.
Okay, so it's not. So it's not this one.
You run this in your Chomp Chomp Megumin deck with your Omp Komoko.
I guess. Yeah, you can run an eating deck. All right, but yeah, I think some potential in that event deck, but pretty underwhelming. Go, Brian. Yeah.
All right. Versus Mage Killer Wiz. 1/0 4,500. When this card is placed on the stage from your hand, look at the top card of your deck. Put it either back on the top or into the waiting room. When this attacks, choose one of your other characters with either adventurer or magic trait. That character gets X power. X is equal to the number of adventurer or magic characters you have times 500.
This is probably the best buff support you have for Union available.
I guess, yeah.
If you think the meta that you're running into is going to require Union to have extra power and you're running old Union, this is probably your best bet because we do not have the re-edit card that gives 2,500 power. Or is it 3K? Something stupid. A lot of power.
Usually when I see these Shimikai effects, it's called a Shimikai, right?
Yeah.
When I see these Shimikais, usually they're on like a vanilla 5K or something.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's infinitely better that this is like 500 power less, but surveils when you play it.
Yeah, it has additional.
That makes it like a much more playable profile, but I still
slightly more relevant, I think. Yeah.
Still don't think Konosuba runs it.
No.
Probably not.
This is a good card, but Konosuba is a set of great cards.
Yeah,
so
like maybe fringe playable.
Yeah.
Maybe like a one of.
I'm literally just giving it the straight C because I do like the surveil on the card. And the fact that it what is it? If you are playing Old Union, maybe you do need the extra power depending on your meta. Like a decent card for them to have access to.
Yeah.
There's probably other ways to pump power though, right? Like
you'd be surprised in Konosuba.
Not a lot of good ones.
Yeah, this is like the most playable one I think I've seen in a long time.
I guess in that case, probably gets bumped up to the C range, but it's
because this is also magic trait, so it works with the Union. Is where I'm at. Like a lot of the other ones are off color or off trait, do not do not meet the magic requirement for Union to not shrink. That's just kind of where I'm at. All right, next card. Another payoff card. This is a 2/1 2500 backup. And when you use the backup, you may ditch strongest user Megaman from your hand. Choose one of your opponent's higher level characters and put it in their waiting room. This is a ditch 1 waiting room anti-change.
What?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, like the free fresh, right? In the situation where you will anti-change your opponent's character and effectively money counter them, is that worth giving up your sculpt of your 1 finisher that you've already sculpted for? I say yes.
Considering you are level 2 when you play this, but your Konosuba, you can probably dig it back up.
There's starting
Especially
to be
if
enough
you're running
payoffs
8 gates.
There's like enough payoffs here where maybe you do just play for the big
right?
money.
Like
Yeah,
it's
no, if
they're
you're
just
going
getting
hard enough,
increasingly stupider. Like right? Like
You have a 5-card Akatsuki. You have
free
free
fresh.
basically a free anti-change counter. You have a free fresh.
This is like
This is a really, really good card.
yeah.
Oh, and it's a sack counter too.
Yeah, it's a sack counter.
Discard 1 card.
Yeah,
sack
I
a
missed the
character.
sack, and it's a sack counter.
Oh my goodness. This is
It seems a little bit pushed.
better than Shaken Mega Man.
I'm gonna give that the A. That's
This
you know
is
what?
Really good.
A-
I give it-
A minus because it is a waiting room anti-change, but like that's you know what? That's nitpicking, dude. It's just an A.
It's
like,
pretty good. Ditch 1
yeah,
chain.
ditch 1 sack. This is like well, I mean, nothing's as good as the fucking Monies one, Gochi, but depending on how consistent it is, this might feel almost as oppressive to do. But nothing's dumber than pay 1 sack something. But this is pretty stupid.
I'm like
Close, yeah.
I'm really starting to like this.
Yeah, I was about to say that's why I said it. I wanted to move on because it's just like there's so much payoff for it that we'll just kind of shoot ourselves in the foot. But yeah, we can just keep going. This one's thankfully pretty simple. There you go, Andy.
I think this is Mega Man.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
When this attacks, choose one of your other characters with adventure or magic. Give it 500 power times the number of others. Boring. This is a level 2 also.
Level 2 or level bomb.
Level 2 bomb. Don't really care too much for it, especially since Konosuba generally, like, why are you running a bomb? You don't give a shit about the early plays. You just
Oh, it's not for early plays.
No, it's
This
a
is
level
for
2 or
standby
lower
targets.
Level bomb.
What?
Level 2 or lower.
Level 2.
It's not an anti-change bomb. It's just a level 2 or lower bomb.
I hate these.
Ew.
They're everything bad about bombs with none of the upside. The Shimakai effect's nice, but like it's bad. That's the pluses for the Shimakai. That's it.
I think I had a pretty good thought there though. Like, you don't really care about anti-change as much in Konosuba probably because you just, indiscriminately kill their cards anyway with your finisher.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But
Moving
I
on.
like the last card is a better option though.
We gotta pick it up a little bit.
All right, Reunion after a long time. Wiz 2/1 level assist, climax combo. If you have another strongest magic user, Megamine, pay 2, discard a card from your hand, choose the climax that she combos with in your waiting room, and return it to your hand. So she just salvages the.
And this is a startup. This is an act that gets you your climax.
Yeah, that's.
Don't think this is necessary because you're pay 1 discarding a card. I would rather, and you're playing this card. I would rather slam 2 Komeis and then play over them both. Like I would rather play a Komei, play over a Komei with a Komei, dig 4 for a climax. Play the Megamine over the Komei again. If I didn't get there to dig 4 again, to dig 8 after clock drawing, then play
It's
that
nice
card.
that this comes down at level 2 as a level assist though for your early play, and then you can just incidentally grab your climax.
I don't think you'd ever run this one over the Aqua buff though, because of the second effect. I don't think
What's
you.
the Aqua buff?
2K in front to level 3s and tap it to give a character on reverse bottom deck your opponent's character.
You have to be splashing heavier into blue for that, though.
Not really. You just run like 4 Snoquas.
Yeah,
Snoquas and Mesmerizing Water Goddess. Yeah, like
the whole time we've been
Fumio.
doing this video, you guys have been talking about these blue cards. I'm saying like a lot of these red cards make it so you don't need to run like the stock swaps.
Oh
and
no,
Fumios
you still
or
run
this
them.
shit.
You
Like,
still
you
run
can
them.
just play the
Still broken.
finisher kind of does it all. So like, I'd be interested in seeing like a red yellow deck.
You can just run through
More
like
yellow tools.
you can run like 3. Doesn't matter. You like don't need a lot of blue or yellow to accommodate the cards that in how you play them, which is the cool thing
Yeah, I
about the
guess
deck.
so.
Yeah, I don't like it. You'll never pay to ditch a card and still be able to ditch a card for the Mega Man on play, as well as pay an additional 3 on climax play. You're just never going to be able to do that. This is too much.
That is pretty expensive.
Don't like it. I almost want to give it an F, but it is like a way to grab a climax, so I'll give it a D-. Don't like it. I don't think it's feasible to expect to be able to do this.
It is a bit expensive.
Just because it's on climax play, you have to pay the 3.
Yeah,
Like a lot.
it's a good point.
And you can't even like grab the climax early. You can only grab it at level 3. Because the union has to be in the field. Alright, next. Me.
It's you, Carmen.
4 or more other magic or adventure characters, because -1 level in your hand, so you can early play at level 1. Put a Roaring Thunder from your climax zone to the waiting room. When your battle opponent of this becomes reversed, you may pay cost. If so, look at up to 4 cards from the top of your library, choose up to 4 adventure or magic characters from among them, show them to your opponent, put them to your hand, put the remaining cards into the waiting room. So, is this a stock soul? Looks like a stock soul to me.
Yeah, so you play it, it's an auto effect. The soul sticks around after the climax is discarded for the combo.
But you can do some nasty like number manipulation with this. Since it's like you could like make your other swing better, make it for more, make it for less. And then you also could just +4.
You know what? This retains its value later in the game a lot better than the like a normal like tri-field level 1 combo, right? Because you only need one
field
reverse
one
and you
of
get to
it.
look at 4 cards.
Yeah, add up
Like
to 4.
even at higher levels, like imagine you're like at level 2 now and you just like early played your
if they have
big
one
union.
shitter lane, right?
If they have like 1 card on their field, you can just go even if you're not plussing 4, like maybe you +2, maybe you +3, but you're still going through like 4 cards.
You plus until your hand's
Yeah.
at 7 and then call it a day.
It's like the end of your turn too, because this is probably your last attack.
Well, or if you
kinda
have
like
early plays and
where
you've
your
one
stock
board, you could attack their 1 lane first and then make your numbers better if they're open lane, swing for 3/3. I think that's a pretty good part of the card as well.
This is actually real solid. I actually really like this.
Yeah, I like the cost.
Yeah, Carmen, are you talking about manipulating the numbers by sacking the climax?
Yes.
The climax is a stock soul, which is an
Oh, stock soul's auto. You're right. So it doesn't mean anything. So the cost is not real. It is a costless cost. Except, wait, no. So you could put the climax if you're clean and you go to refresh, you can put the climax back into your deck mid a battle phase. Into your next deck.
Yeah, you can.
You can do that, and it's the cost. So after reverse, so say you have 4 clean cards left in deck.
Before you mill and go to refresh, yeah.
Yeah, you sack it, then you grab 4. You like? Spicy. I'm gonna give it the B. This is a spicy B. Spicy.
It's a level 1 combo though.
It is.
It is. Spicy.
I think it's better than spicy B. I think it's like maybe an A tier card.
I don't know about that.
I'm just gonna give it a B.
Because it's pay 1. It's pay 1, and then but
you get your card.
It is
you
a
get
lot.
Your stock back though for it because it's stock soul.
That's true.
That's true.
It is true. I don't know.
Like a lot of options with it, like you said. Like, let's say you have like 2 cards left in your deck, right? You want a climax combo. You attack with this first, sack your climax. It gets to shuffle back, or like, you don't know what your compression is going to be like end of turn, right? Like you might have like a bunch of climaxes in your deck, then you just attack and trigger 3 gates, and you're like, oh shit, I need to get through the rest of this deck now. Guess I will mill 4 cards.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that you can kind of like swing with this last and then say, okay, like what's my compression like at this point? If it's bad, you can look at a lot of cards. If it's
Well, you could do that with any Minami.
I guess, but
because you could always leave one. The only way this is better is that it allows you to not leave one, which in the current meta would be pretty good because we're getting shuffle back things are coming to English. Fumio, obviously, with a 1-card deck is one of the worst things that can happen. Well, not the worst. The worst is you're over refresh and you pay out all your stock and it's all clean, then it gets shuffled back. That's probably the worst. But, still not a good situation. Yeah, I want to see people fuck with this. I don't know if I'm brave enough to fuck with it.
I think it might be better than the Kimono Megamine.
I don't think I agree there. Mostly just because of the pop back being so strong, the loop ability.
Pop back is pretty good.
Yeah,
but can your Kimono Megamine
definitely not weak.
+4 on one lane.
I think this is like people are maybe sleeping on this card.
I mean, yeah, for sure. I think the card does have potential. I wouldn't give it a B if I thought it was bad. I think it's a good card. I don't think I'm brave enough to fuck with it.
Deck tech coming soon, folks.
All right, we gotta get moving. It's been an hour and 10 minutes.
There's a lot of red cards, dude.
Yeah, there's a lot of red cards.
I'm trying, man.
We're still in the rares.
This is a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Oh god, it is the rares. How many cards?
Oh fuck.
What? Who is this?
Whose card is this?
I think this is mine. Wiz is my favorite character, so I'll read it. When you play this card from hand to stage, you get a salvage, an adventurer magic. When it attacks, you can pay 3, put the bottom 4 cards of your opponent's library into waiting room, deal X equal number climax. This is called an icy tail.
Yep.
That's that.
So
it's not off a climax, so that's pretty cool.
The pay 3 ones have proven to be too expensive. When they don't do something else that's super impactful. I don't think the cantrip is enough. The pay 3 is really expensive, but I wouldn't be upset if someone ran this as a one-of tech. If they had a lot of super heavy compression decks in the meta, which is where these are so good. But if they had a bunch of super heavy compression decks in their meta, I would say you should buy a playset of Memory Snow, because that's probably one of the best meta calls you could make. If literally everybody is playing Fate and ReZero, you probably want to play something like Memory Snow.
Ooh, my gears are turning now, where it's so the finisher for this deck, right, is only 2 lanes.
You cannot pay 3 after this. You cannot. And you also Fubio'd your opponent, which means it's not likely that this will hit. Because it hits for a number of climax. It's kind of a little bit anti-synergy. It's too expensive, I think, is the main problem. Pay 3 is a lot. Ditch 2 would be a lot better.
Right. I mean, if you're playing the combo, you've already paid 3 on climax play, and then your 2 characters rested themselves and didn't generate stuff.
Oh, no. Yeah. Bigger picture, Brian. Bunny Girl Union generates a lot of stock. She's 6K.
I hear you.
You do it again. That's 12 stock.
That is a lot of stock.
All right, I'm done talking about this. C-.
Yeah,
it's fine. It's just too expensive.
You give it a C. It's fine.
I wouldn't play this over Powered Up Explosion as a off finisher. Is the big thing. This is directly competing with Powered Up Explosion.
Better by a mile. Powered Up Explosion is.
But Icy Tails are rare in English, so we'll give it the bump. Here you go, Brian.
All right. Breaking Out in a Cold Sweat Union. When this card becomes reversed in battle, put the top 4 cards of your deck into the waiting room. If Unreasonable Demand Megumin is among them, you may return this card to your hand. When this card becomes reversed, if the battle opponent's level 0 or lower, you may reverse that character. So level 0 bomb.
Didn't we fight about this in the slime review? The Gabiru? This is the same thing.
Yes. What does the level 1 Megumin do?
I think it's also a bomb, and it mills 5. Literally the same as the Gabiru.
Oh, it's the exact same.
Yeah, pretty sure it's the same profile. I don't like it. It's a budget only deck.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Oh, yeah, that's why I forgot what it was.
Yeah.
Shit.
It's a budget only strategy.
D+ for mill.
Yeah, 3 mil on reverse, but there are better things to be doing. All right. Are these all the cards where you... No. What's her
No.
name again? This is one of Union's sisters.
Yeah, 40. This is Funifura.
Yeah, they all have dumbass names. When this is played from hand to stage, surveil top. Look at it. Leave it on top. Put it in the waiting room. And if you attack, as long as one or fewer other characters, we put the top card. Oh, it's Spawner. Spawner to back row. Spawners are not as popular in English as they are in Japanese. Spawners are very normal. And you have a chance to kind of try to set your top. It's not as good as a Shizuru spawner, which is like top check 2 rearrange. But it's like almost there. It's
you can,
fine.
like, more consistently set it up with this, maybe, but same time, it's only really ever good like turn 1.
Yes,
and a lot of the other cards
fine,
with this effect are also like a sticky level 0, like a something holding board, like a bomb or something like.
Well, or they have a better set effect, like top check 2 rearrange, or what is it? I think the one in Million Live is Snakwa, and it has this effect. So I don't know. I think Surveil's like not good enough. I would rather it do something better and not have 1500 power.
Yeah, you have so many good zeros in Konosuba, you can do better.
All right, I'll give it a it's like a D plus. Still a plussing 0 in a way.
Maybe
for your Crimson Demons deck, I guess.
Even when these cards are good, I think they're deceptively overrated.
They have to have a good other effect.
You can only really do it turn 1.
Well, it depends on what your deck's running. Like in decks like Milky Holmes that like the drop search also does this, you're super dependent on hitting your back row. So like any additional plus and shit like that is like really fucking good. Since you don't like play a lot of cards at level 0, but like Konosuba is just not that kind of deck.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on.
All right, we got Smug Megumin. Put an adventurer or magic character from your hand into your clock. When it's put from hand to stage, look at 3 cards from the top of your library. Add 1 of them to your hand. It's on play. It's
Kazuma, but for clock yourself.
Instead of pay 1.
Instead of pay 1.
Kazuma's pay 1, right?
Yeah, pay 1, ditch 1.
And it's card from a hand to clock, so not a plus.
Don't like it
for later. It's more
of
a filter than a plus. I'd rather pay the 1 and get the plus, I think.
Well, no, it's not. The other one's not a plus either, but you don't want to clock yourself later. So, don't like it.
Yeah, I'm
taking damage is a misplay. All right, Brian, you lucked into this one.
All right, here we go. Excellent at self-introduction, Crimson Demon. When this card is placed onto the stage from your hand, you may introduce yourself dramatically. If you do, your opponent may introduce themselves by name as well. If they do, both players put the top card of their deck into their stock. Please mind large volumes in motions. And it's also a free runner.
Alright, I don't want to have another AAO discussion.
Dude, I was literally just thinking that.
Like,
I was literally just thinking that.
Well, the thing is, like, that's just a straight plus. This is like stock. You could probably reasonably expect your opponent to sometimes give you stock, because they're also getting stock. Especially if, like, you play this going first. That's pretty bad for you. You're handing your opponent, like, stock and letting them drop search and stuff. Or Ricky turn 1.
AAO was the Bang Dream card that let you search your deck for any card.
Both players search,
It was search for any card. That is like, you can potentially lose the game if you fucking do that.
Well, I think you could potentially lose the game here.
One stock early on is like not... One stock is not the same as a free tutor.
Well, I think it depends. If you give your opponent a stock, you overswing your opponent to like 5 on your first attack for some reason. Because if you're playing this, you're probably playing some weird budget build, and you trigger a 2-soul or some shit, and your opponent's just like, well, guess I'm gonna Ricky and go to level 1, and, like, or something ridiculous. They have this crazy tempo swing. I think it could potentially. Because this is a free runner, you're going to hit these weird situations where, like, your opponent, Ricky's their turn 0. And you're like, oh, Jesus God, what have I done? Like, you know, like, It's like, oh, they just fucking plussed a bazillion, and I didn't even do anything but play this free runner. But I guess you could just not introduce yourself.
Yeah, like this is it has the same issue.
It's not as bad.
Have with AAO. AAO is like literally the worst card ever printed. I think you like literally tell your opponent they can kill you if they want to. But,
no, I kind of.
It's like here's my issue with this card. Here's my quarrel with it. It gives all the initiative to your opponent. If you could really use that stock, they're going to say no. If they could really use the stock, they're going to say yes. And as far as runners go, Konosuba already has Board Games Megumin, which is a mile better than this. I think this card is.
You don't get to introduce yourself with board games, though.
Yeah,
I don't know. There's no rule
know.
in the fucking rulebook that says I can't.
Yeah, I mean, don't you remember when I was playing Star
Do you ever
Wars?
walk up to someone at the start of your game in a tournament and be like, "Hi, my name's Brian. What's yours? Are you my opponent?"
Nope. Save that till you play this card.
No, you got to be like, Wagga Brian.
And then you're like, "Oh shit, I'm at the wrong table." You better already drew.
This isn't table 1. All right, moving on. Is this me? Okay, when this card is placed from hand to stage, you may pay 1 and clock yourself. If you do, search your library for 1 cost, 0 or lower adventure or magic characters level or equal to or lower to your level. Place it as it sounded so good and then it sounded so bad. No, we hate it. We hate it so much.
Wow, no game, no life, Ricky. What did they do to you? You're an uncommon now.
Ugh.
Hey, well, at least they have a Ricky. They never had a Ricky before. It's like an option at least.
Oh my god, it's like the worst part is like I can't even give this a bad grade. Like I can't even say it's shit. Like because it's not. It's like a C plus B minus. Like it's a Ricky.
Yeah,
it still enables turn 0 tri-fields. Like it enables tri-fielding, which is one of the good things about Ricky's. Lets you be aggressive early. Lets you get exactly the level 0 that answers the situation. Still does that, and if you play it at level 1, it still gets your thing, unless you get on-play power, in which case this card sucks. But
you know what the great thing about this compared to No Game No Lives is?
What?
Konosuba has a ton of other good level 0s they can play.
Yeah, true.
You can play this shitty card if you want to. You don't have to.
Yeah.
The No Game No Life Ricky's also limited to just Soras and Shiros.
Oh yeah, it's even worse.
Pretty good pack
It gives 500 power when it attacks, though.
Woo!
All right.
Alright.
This is the other part. Let's not waste time on this. This is still garbage. There's no reason to play this over the hand encore bomb at all. It's literally like just I think I'm actually gonna give it an F because there's no reason to play it. So let's just pop to the next one.
The hand encore bomb does exist.
We talked about it before. Alright, I'm gonna read this one. This is Megumin and the cat posing on you. T-posing on you. During your turn, this card gets 4,000 power.
375.
Do they have the same card that Slime has, the fairy?
No.
She the robot?
She's the robot.
She is the robot, yes. Robot is good when you have a way to use robot.
Knows it.
I mean, it is just a free 1075. Maybe there's a way for it to be used. But on its own, pretty whatever. I'm gonna give it a D plus just because it's like no condition. 1075.
I don't like it. I'm just gonna go.
Other ones need like shit on board and stuff. So like whatever.
Despite being a robot, Megumin didn't need this card.
Right.
Next.
All right. We have Fierce Engagement Wiz, 104,500. On play from hand, goes up to 6k till end of turn. Discard a climax.
Hey, I see you there.
Discard a climax, gains 1,500 power, and when this card attacks, reveal the top 2 cards of your deck. Your opponent chooses an event or character from among them, put that card into your hand, and discard the other.
I'm sorry, Drew, if you're watching this back. Oh man, he's gonna wish he stayed around.
Yeah, all this event support in red.
Mm-hmm. It's fine. I ditch a climax is a lot.
It is, yeah.
You ditch climaxes for a lot of effects though. Like
Yeah.
Megamine, we just talked about how great that card was.
If you really need to get into events, it's good.
It gives you a way to hit into events. It's mill on first deck if you need it.
Yeah, I think D plus is right, Brian.
I mean, 6,000 power for a 1/0 with a pretty good effect that actually lets you get into events. I think it's way better than a D.
Well, oh, okay, wait. It's way better than a D because I realized that's just an act ability, and you can do this multiple times. That's enough to put it to a C.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really...
So it gives you.
It's when wait.
It gives you mill and refunds the card. It's an act, a startup. So you can ditch as many climaxes as you want.
You can stack the effect twice.
Yes, you can keep going.
Ditch 2 climaxes, look at 2, take
it's
1.
It's super
look
big,
take 1.
and unlike the other ones, this card mills. So like you're already out climaxes, correct? So you're out climaxes, and you're incentivized to mill, and this is controlled. Oh no, it's not. You reveal the top. You have to reveal the top 2, and your opponent chooses. So you don't get to choose. However,
your
probably
opponent
worse than just a draw. Your opponent
chooses,
chooses. So I'm back down to C minus. But the fact that it is mill, I've played with these opponent chooses. They're not that bad.
Oh yeah, I mean the theory is you're not running bad cards in your deck.
Yeah.
Especially if you're playing Konosuba.
And if you reveal another climax, your opponent does not get to choose. I think it's fine.
It gets 1,500 more power when
yeah. It gets massive.
So it goes up to 75 actually.
Yeah, it's fine. These like repeatable outs are better than they seem. This one's not great, but it's fine.
I think it's
the
pretty
ones
solid,
that draw
actually.
are a little better.
It's like almost a B. I like that you can't draw another climax off it.
True.
Pretty cool.
All right, I think this is me. You have no other characters with other adventure or magic. This does not stand during your stand phase. When this is placed from hand to stage, look at the top card of your library, put it on the top of the library into the waiting room. This is chaff.
Well, yeah.
Chaff. Well, look at that drawback for being a fucking vanilla. This is F. F. Moving on.
Scry's a card. D. Scry!
Yeah.
It's not actually that bad. That's a vanilla Scryer.
Let's get moving. Start it up.
Oh no, she's sad. The level of the character opposite of her is higher than the level of this. This cannot front attack. When this is placed on hand. When you play this from your hand. Mill a card. If it's level 0 or lower, choose an opponent's cost 0 or lower front row character and kill it.
I hate it.
I don't like it either.
Yeah. I like the last card way better.
F. These are getting easier.
They are. All right, let's talk about Megamine's mom.
Megumine's mom has got it going
shit,
on.
Wait. Is this what I think it is?
When you use this card's backup, you may pay 4, discard a card. If you do, rest one of your opponent's characters.
Tap counter, baby!
Tap counter in Konosuba. Interesting.
Boom. B+. Easy. I don't think tap counter can be any lower than a B. Tap counter is too strong. Especially in a set that can stock charge like this.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
There's some spicy options in Konosuba.
I wanna point something out though. Like when we were gushing about these in like ReZero, obviously, and in the
Overlord.
Overlord, those sets don't really have a top end combo. They're kind of just
true.
compressing.
Well, this is for the decks. This is for a deck that you maybe don't. Maybe you're running that. No, you know what the deck this is for? The fucking deck where you run the Darkness Merge as your top end, because that shit's free. And then you get to threaten tap counter and possibly seizure. You play like 3 color. Sounds pretty disgusting, actually.
You don't even need 3 color.
Yeah.
This is a backup.
You just go. You just do whatever you want.
That's really spicy.
Yeah, I like that with the
that.
darkness. Yeah, 'cause it's just free. I think it was free, right? That didn't have a cost.
If it did, it was cheap.
Nope, it was free. Free.
You have to pay 1 to play the 2/1, but that's it.
No, I'm saying like the
combo.
The combo's free.
Oh, the combo? No, the
combo's free. So like you keep all your stock up, and the merges all play for 1. So like, pretty good synergy there. A big fan. Big fan of tap counter.
I just think like in general though, like you don't slam this into every deck. Like
no, it's not like
ReZero.
ReZero. No, you have to have the stock charge support for tap counter. Like, ReZero is like one of the only decks that can use it effectively. Overlord uses it pretty effectively. I think Konosuba could you could build 2 using it effectively.
Yeah,
Is that
Megumin
stronger?
build maybe not because there's so much of an upfront cost to the combo.
Yeah, but still, this is a good card. Good card. Good card. Big fan. All right. I think this is Welcome Komiko, right? Yeah. I would imagine I'm back. Welcome home. Okay, so when this attacks, if the 2-soul climax is in your climax zone, you may pay 1. If so, choose 3 cards in your opponent's waiting room, return them to their deck. Your opponent shuffles their deck.
What?
Yeah, get fucked, idiots.
That's
you
pretty
fucking.
damn.
Your opponent leaves 1 card. You're gonna eat 3, then they're gonna do another one and eat 3. This card is This card's really fucking meme. I don't even think it's bad. I think
maybe
it's
you can even if you don't need a top end combo, if your top end's gonna be just like stalling with tap counter, think how obnoxious that would be. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna push your shit in with this 2-soul, and then by the way, I'm running tap counter at the top.
Well, you'll probably run out of stock because for every one of these, it's 2 stock.
This is 2-1, and then your attacks don't build stock because you have to pay 1 for the combo.
And you'd have to have a stock up front if you were gonna triple. But like, I don't know.
Pretty BM deck.
It's timed correctly.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna give it the C+, but like B-. It's like I think I go B-.
I don't know. If you want an excuse to run a 2-soul, this is like
it's a good excuse.
I mean, yeah, this is like
good enough. Not be good, but
there's some sort of budget deck with this and the early play union with the stock soul. I think there's some deck there. There's some sort of budget like ridiculous deck where you just like +4. You're like slamming stock.
Yo, you know what else is in this set? Aqua. 2-soul.
Yes.
Shop 2-soul climaxes out Fumio.
Yeah. So like running the 2-soul into someone's Fumio deck.
Dude, you don't even need the Megumin finisher. Just Aqua, Seizure, and play this.
Play the Komiko. And this is also the card that you can ditch to pay for the burn event that we'll look at later. So there's probably a budget deck with this, the Union that pluses 4 in 1 lane, since that's a rare, and the event. But all right, Andy, we could talk about this. You can talk about this next one. There's a lot of text.
Holy words. All right, when you play this card from hand to stage, choose a 1 explosion a day in your waiting room. I'm assuming that's the climax?
Yep.
Okay, so on play, you get the climax for it back. Big fan of that type of effect.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
Put all the cards from your hand and stock to waiting room and the climax. Ooh, this better be good. Beginning of your attack phase. If this is standing in your front row, you may pay the cost. So again, beginning your attack step, all the cards in your hand, stock, and the climax to waiting room. If you put 8 or more cards this way to waiting room, put all of your opponent's level 3 or lower characters into their waiting room, put all the cards of your opponent's library into their waiting room, and deal X to your opponent and rest this. X is the number of today's Explosion Magic Megumin in your level. Is that this card?
Yes.
What?
Oh, wait, this is badass.
This card's really fucking funny.
What is the trigger? Is it a stock soul?
Stock soul, yeah.
I'm so confused.
That's like not even bad.
I think the joke is that it's not bad, but like, come on.
That's like super solid.
So you neg your opponent 5. Ideally, right?
It's a stockless finisher.
Put all the cards. Put all of the cards in your opponent's library into the waiting room. So your opponent takes a refresh point.
They take point too, yeah.
And then you deal X.
Guaranteed 1 if you level up all of the other.
Wait,
3.
this doesn't nuke your other lanes, right?
3.
This doesn't nuke your other lanes, correct? No.
Your other lanes? No, you get your.
No, you get your attacks, but you don't have the climax. So your numbers are better into the open lanes.
You kill all their cards,
it's
though.
Stock soul. You still get the soul from the climax.
Well, no, it's at the beginning of your attack phase. So yeah, no, you don't. You have to dump all your stock.
Well, no. I think Brian's saying you blow up their whole field, so you would then get direct attacks. But if it's a stock soul, even though you set
it stays. Yes. I see.
I think this is like actually a legitimate finisher option for the set.
Probably. I mean, you don't gain anything for it as opposed to the other ones.
The fact that it lets you, like, you don't have to build up a mountain of stock.
Well, you have to have some amount.
You have to have a bunch of cards in your hand, I guess, then, right? So 8 cards, those are the climax. Let's say, how many cards do you have in your hand at this point? Maybe 5, 6?
5 in hand.
There'd still be like a
I think on average you'd probably have 4 hand, 4 stock after resolving the stock soul, so you need 3 stock. 3 stock. You need whatever your stock is plus your hand minus 1. How much you need?
Yeah, stock souls. And you can use your field from before too, right? Or wait.
No.
Like, you maybe don't need to play cards from your hand, like you don't need to deploy another.
I mean, yeah, all you do is like you fucking play this, you shove up your back row and say, "Well, guess you fucking lose your field, idiot," and you blow them up. Like,
you need 6 cards between your hand and your stock when you play.
And you're only dealing 3. So you're dealing 3 and then you're going to attack.
First.
It does.
Yes.
It kills their characters, so they're all going back to
your opponent could encore.
They can encore.
They could encore.
But then the stock or whatever they pay.
Does that interrupt your effect?
Back instead.
It is encore happens immediately when cards are placed into the waiting room. But yes.
Well, are you sure that it interrupts an effect like that?
Yes.
Yeah, so it would resolve as put all your opponent's characters into the waiting room. They have to choose their characters one at a time, send them to waiting room, and encore that instant if they want to save them.
Okay.
Yeah, because all isn't ordered, which means it follows the normal rule, which is you choose.
Okay. So
I think it's fine.
They could encore them.
They could.
Okay.
I think it's totally fine. It's another meme, but it's a strong meme.
Yeah.
To give it a C+ with a meme in the 4th block.
I'm just giving it a C.
I don't know, man. The numbers are like pretty okay.
Good. Like, it's not like probably not the best finisher in the set, but it definitely
it's like a burn 1.
Frees up a lot of deck space. Like, you can do whatever you want with the rest of your deck. This is
you need to run 4 of it.
Well, I mean, like, the rest of your deck that doesn't have to like be built to funnel into it. Like,
oh yeah, it just adds the climax to your hand.
There's like no traits that you have to stick to. There's like no other.
It's
cards
weird that this gets power.
Means for this climax.
This just like gets power for no reason. It's blowing up its opponent's board. Why does it get power? Why didn't it do literally anything else?
Oh, you guys, this is what the Cosmo level swapper was for.
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
Oh shit. It is with the Cosmo.
Forgot to go back and rate that card, actually.
I think this is the only thing we've seen that affects that card. Yeah, I don't know.
I think there's actually a deck here.
Maybe there's some...
Maybe I'll build this deck, too. Maybe it's budgeted enough I can build it.
I mean, this is an uncommon.
It's an uncommon, yeah.
Yeah. Throw this in my Sylvia deck.
This is pretty fucking...
I don't need any other red cards. I'm leveling the red cards anyway.
Well, yeah, you could literally just run 4 of this and 1 of the climax. And be like, well.
Oh my god.
So fucking funny. Carmen. Yeah, you could just run like 4 of this and 3 climax. Or you know what? Even if you don't even... who cares about the burn, dude? Just fucking run 2 of it. Or none of it. Who cares? It's just a fucking... You just press the button. Your opponent blows up.
Well, actually, the Cosmo level swapper, though...
I mean, would go in the Cosmo deck.
Yeah, right? that's the Cosmo. It goes in the Sylvia deck.
I'm a fucking genius for coming up with that.
What do you mean? I just said. It's very funny. But this is extremely funny.
You can also use the Cosmo to remove Megamines from your level if you want to burn for less.
Well, wait. If you're leveling nothing but Megamines, how are you playing like other colors?
Because that's kind of annoying. These are your only red cards. The rest of your deck is primary colors.
I guess then you'd have to run the Cosmo Swapper to like set up your finisher, where like your finisher hand is like...
If you have too many Megamines you leveled up, you can like get rid of Megamines so you don't burn for 3.
Well, I don't even think you have to burn for 3. It's like a burn for 2 or even a burn for 1, nuke your opponent's entire field.
And refresh point.
Doesn't target. Alright, let's move on. This is hilarious. Who this? Is you?
I think this is me. This is Beauty and Yukata Megamine. When this card is placed onto the stage from your hand, you may put an adventurer or magic character from your hand into your clock. If you do, search your deck for up to 2 incorrect misunderstanding unions, show them to your opponent, put them into your hand, and shuffle your deck. It's a vanilla 3K. When this is placed from your hand to the stage, you may return 2 adventure or magic characters from your waiting room to your deck and shuffle. If you do, choose one of your characters that gets a soul till the end of the turn.
So you can't whiff it. If they're milled, you put them into your deck and grab them.
You can order the effects, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's good.
Boy, do I want to clock myself to search for 2 vanillas.
But I mean, it is a
consider it
a
like
turn
an extra
1
clock
tri-field.
step, right?
It's a +1,
guess.
right?
It's an extra clock step. It's another +1.
Yeah, it's a +1. Because you put a card from your hand in your clock and you get an additional card. And you can return the card. So it's like, this is like for an aggressive deck. Maybe this goes in the aggro deck. The Komoko, no, dude, here's the deck.
Oh, yeah,
I'm a genius. I'm a genius, man.
Fucking playing as creatures.
Union, level 1, the 2/1 Union.
The +4
3 2 souls. 1 stock soul.
For the
Megamine we just saw.
Oh.
That's the deck, dude. And you run this card, and you just fucking, all you do is fucking slam down this shit. Slam 2 souls. Can you imagine losing to that deck? The deck sounds so fucking funny, right?
It's like all commons and uncommons.
Yeah, it's just like
Brian. When your playset comes and hit me up, I'm gonna give you your bulk.
I mean, I'll have a lot of extra bulk. So.
Yeah, we'll have a lot of these. We have to brew this deck. This is the new deck tech. We're gonna get to the lab. Let's crack out TTS. There's some sort of budget deck here.
You might be joking. I'm legitimately.
No, I'm not even joking. This sounds really fucking funny. As like a fucking locals deck, like whatever. It's just like, oh, I'm just throwing soul, dude. This is like an even funnier idea than the cheesecake deck. Remember the cheesecake deck?
Yeah, the cheesecake deck from
the Cheesecake Factory deck. There was just like, oh, I'm just gonna like casually swing for 7 on your first deck. It's turn 1.
Straight up, dude. You remember like our tier list video where we were talking about like team setups where it's like you just put like.
You just put someone with this idiot deck.
the biggest idiot smooth brain 2-soul deck.
The smoothest brain. That's the name of the deck.
Person you know, and you hand them this deck.
The smoothest brain Crimson Demon. That's the name of this deck. All right. Yeah, I've talked myself into like a C. Unironically, the second effect, like returning 2 cards to your deck, has like fringe use. In terms of like adding clean triggers into small decks. Of course, that requires some amount of deck manipulation, but
yeah, just like dodging refresh or something. If you need to get Climax to shuffle back, there's a couple of uses for it.
Yeah.
Also gives an extra soul. Fits with
Konosuba has no lack of mill, so even in
true.
The lower rarities, so not a big deal. All right, Andy, you got a score for this? We can move on.
Oh, did I not put a score in?
No.
Oh, it's already on the next slide.
Card's dank, dude.
It's not very good, but in that one deck, it might be.
4 and 4, man. It's your
might
level
be the
zeros.
glue that holds it together.
All right. We got this Megumin and Komoko sisters or some shit. I don't know. I can't fucking read turns. During your turn, gains 1,000 power. It's 2,500. It's placed from hand to stage. Reveal a top card if it's an adventure or magic character. Choose one of your characters. Give it 2,000 power for the turn. Thanks. The only good part is the art. I hate it.
Goes up to 45. Broken.
Art's cute.
If only if
it can target any
hit
character.
On event cards too.
Brandon were here. He'd be fucking. He wouldn't be talking much anymore. This kind of card. The art joke.
Yeah,
all right.
I got that.
Got that. All right. Okay, moving on. This is her parents. They're the best fucking characters. I love her parents.
Your other front row center adventure magic gets 1,000 power. Pay 2 restless. Search your deck for a Megami or Kameko.
You plus every turn. That's broken.
It's like giraffe.
It's like giraffe.
It's like giraffe, but only for Megumin and Kameko.
Yeah, I don't. It's not very good.
Yeah.
Like a D. Repeatable plus. It's nothing like giraffe. Don't you sully giraffe's good name. Don't you sully Jeffrey like that. All right, Brian, this is you.
All right, what do we have here? This is Arue. During this card's battle, you cannot play backup from your hand. When damage dealt by this card is not canceled, this gains 6,000 power for the turn.
This is the coterie from Fantasia Bunko.
Get in there, hit him for 1, go up to 75, kill whatever. Broken.
Yeah, I also hate it. At least it's only dealing 1.
That's not like the worst,
average.
actually. Like, isn't out to your if your opponent stands by something big. This is like level 0 way to kill.
It is like an anti-standby card at level 0.
Maybe.
But you have to run so much of it.
Standby card, I think, is the problem.
Card, but,
You'd have to run so much of it. Yeah, do not like.
I don't think it's great. Yeah.
Oh my god! Wait, I just thought of an even more synergy for the Megumin card. Okay, hear me out. You open this and like an extra copies of your 0, dude. You get to throw them and have a more aggressive mulligan, and then put them back into your deck with the Megumin. This shit's broken. Smooth brain. All right. Next card. When this card is placed from hand to stage, if your opponent has 1 or less characters in the front row, choose one of your opponent's cost 0 or lower characters, front row character, put in their waiting room. This is what an anti-runner looks like. When this is placed from into the waiting room from the stage, you may pay cost, salvage a magic character. Wow, I like it even better.
Yeah, that seems not too bad.
This is fine. I wouldn't play it over any other field plus in the game, but it's fine. Let's see.
Fine is a good description.
It's a decent tech card. You know, it's a good turn 1 effect. But then,
I like that it
has some late game value too.
Pay to salvage. Only magic, but like whatever.
Good one's good.
I think it's off straight. Aren't these off straight? These are just magic, right? Yeah, these are magic. Crimson Degens are just It's Maho. So. Yeah, wait. Yeah. Okay.
This is. I think this is. Is this literally just like a crop picture of Cursed Crystal Prison, the climax?
I think she used Cursed Crystal Prison in the movie.
But hey, guess what card this is? Futaba. What do we think about?
Oh, actually, it's Wiz. If there's a marker under it, gets +1. Yeah, it is Futaba.
We love Futaba.
Yeah,
Futaba's an A+
really
profile.
Yeah.
This is a magic trait.
Adventure or magic.
Wait, pretty sure you just run this over swimsuit.
Hey, don't be a hater. Swimsuit saves itself.
No. You run this over swimsuit for sure. Right? Why would you?
Futabas are the best level 0s right now, I think.
Yeah.
Why would you play
profiles?
Doesn't this card just have value like all game? Like all game.
Not if you're playing Dame.
Shut up, Brian. You're only holding onto that card because you have SPs of it.
I mean, you're not wrong.
It's sunk cost. Anyway, I'm the last
better
person
than the coin
who should
flip
be
to me,
yelling
too.
at anybody for sunk cost.
Yeah,
this is like Futaba's like fucking super strong.
Yeah, it's a good profile.
Look at that bulk double rare we started with about an hour and a half ago. Jeez.
Yeah, replaced by Futaba level 0. But yeah, the fact that it's magic traits, just like, come on. It hits on adventure and magic, like it hits on everything.
Yep.
No reason. Vanillas. No time for vanillas.
Broken.
Go ahead, Brian.
This is Devilish Younger Sister, Kameko. At the beginning of your climax phase, your opponent may put the top 2 cards of their stock into the waiting room. If they do, this card cannot front attack for the turn. That seems like it could potentially be kind of bad.
We talked about this.
That seems fine.
This is Milim. This is Milim.
If you're trying to play it as a chump later, your opponent can potentially just money counter you for 2.
Yeah, I think we talked about this when we talked about Milim, and I think the end, I can't remember, but I think it was like it's fine. But like there are other options for oversizes. Like we just saw the Futaba. We just saw the Futaba. I would never play this over the Futaba because the level is too strong. So like
+1 level's too good.
It's fine. Yep. In terms of a drawback, it seems like, oh my god, it's just free, whatever, but like it's not. Alright, 1-0 Union with this attacks. If you have 2 or more other adventure magic characters, this game's 2000, it's 6-5. Got Hand Encore. Hate it. Hate it. Do not like. F+ for Hand Encore. Let's tear through these. I'm sick of looking at
Whoa,
Konosuba cards.
Union backup. You get a mill 3 cards when you play it. You have to mill 3 cards.
Oh, it's the big
For
brain
2000.
Brittany backup.
Yeah, it's got a soul counter. Soul trigger.
You see these in decks like the Goblin Slayer yellow deck has that, but they like really need the extra soul trigger, and then it will like refund your stock.
Yeah, I don't think there's a reason around this.
Konosuba
Oh wait.
Mill.
Konosuba doesn't have a 2K, right?
Yeah, rip sneaker bunka.
Who
Yeah,
cares?
Konosuba does not have a 2K backup, so maybe this is fine. Whatever.
Maybe.
All right, is this me? No.
Yeah, I don't know anymore.
Whatever. Go. I can read it if you want.
Yeah, go ahead. You get the budget scene card, or they blew all the budget on this scene.
Impressed Megamine. Rest this, draw a card, ditch a card. Rest this, choose one of your adventure or magic characters, gets 3k till the end of turn. It's a 2/1 3k. I hate it.
I don't like it.
I thought this was a level 0 when we looked at it first.
This is the scene where they're in the bedroom. They literally blew the entire movie's budget on that one scene, and like the one finisher scene. But like, the Konosuba movie looked really good. But like,
It was good, yeah.
This scene was super clean.
If this was a 1/1, I'd actually like it a lot. I think.
It would be better if it were a 1/1 for sure.
Raw discard's like actually pretty good in this game.
Yeah, 2/1's a little
3,000
late.
power is a lot, but level 2 is too late. Comes on. Especially when your finisher doesn't even care about power either.
Yeah.
Good card in a different set, maybe.
All right. We got this Union and a Yukata. All your other adventure magic characters gain 1,000 power. It's a 2/1. And then you may swap the bottom card of your clock and a magic character for free.
See. More support for our meme combo. Oh, clock, yeah, not level.
Yeah, hate it.
Yeah, support for Dame, heck yeah.
Hey, you can still run Detonative Dame, but just run less swimsuit Megamines and replace them with Futawas.
It's broken. That's like
oh my god, it sucks so much. All right, next.
Union on Fire. When this card is placed from hand to stage, this gets 1,000 times the number of characters, including yourself. Discard at level 3 again. When this card is placed from hand to stage, you can discard that card, choose a character in your waiting room, and add it back to your hand. It's not bad.
It's fine, I guess. Yeah.
It's like solid in the new meta deck.
I don't know. I feel
no, I don't know. It swings for 12k.
Well, I'd rather
anything.
I'd rather play the old like killer 2/1. The what is it swinging for? Like swings in for 13.
Yeah, calling for teacher. The plus is pay 1 on reverse.
Yeah, it's pay 1, grabs a character from any character from grave on reverse.
Yeah,
because like you're gonna play this into an early play, right? Like why you're fielding
Ideally,
it.
you would, yeah.
So like I don't know. I'd rather run the dedicated killer with the on reverse plus effect that like sculpts me for my finisher turn. This seems like just that card, but not as good to me. So
yeah, you're probably going to be taxed pretty hard on.
It's fine though.
You have all these cards that want to ditch big Megamine, but you only have so many big Megamines.
Well, I think the timing's bad. Like, why would you play a 2/1 to pitch your finisher? Like your next turn's your finisher.
Yeah, that is kind of odd.
Yeah, whereas the other one actively gets you your finisher. Like, yeah, I think it's just a D. I don't think it's.
Yeah, a little bit of a trap there.
All right, last fucking red card.
Yeah, hey guys, we made it. The last card, Forbidden
Holy
Weapon.
shit!
This is the same art from before.
You know what's funny?
These are the 2 same arts from before.
Yes, they are. They're on one card.
You have a character with Cosma and name. Send this to memory. Pay 2. Put all Forbidden Weapon from your memory into your waiting room. Add the end of your opponent's turn. If this is in your memory, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose up to 2 cards in your opponent's waiting room, put them on top of their deck in any order, and deal 5 to your opponent. When paying the cost of this card, you may put a Welcome Kameko from your hand into the waiting room in place of 2 stock.
So
are you allowed to discard multiple Welcome Kamekos?
When paying the cost of this card, you may put a Welcome Kameko from your hand.
I think that's the 2/4 because it's a 2/4 event. I don't think it's the recollection ability.
When paying the cost.
Well, yeah, I think What is the text actually? I think the text actually looks like this. I think the text looks like that. I think it's...
Maybe.
Yeah, I think this is what it actually looks like. I think it's broken up like this.
That makes a lot more sense. Which one's Welcome Kameko?
The
That's
2 one.
The
Right.
one that combos with the 2 soul.
Yeah, that's the one that shuffles cards back. So for 4 overall, you burn 3, but it's actually burn 5.
It's the end of opponent's turn too. So I think the idea is you set this up going into your finisher turn, right? So
Yeah.
you set this card away on layaway, like it's Walmart or something, right? You put it on layaway, and next turn, end of their turn, going into your level 3 turn, you pay this out. Try to stick 'em for 5.
Andy, no. Andy, no. I've discovered it. The
Okay,
ultimate combo.
Let's see.
Okay, you send this to the memory at some point, like at level 2, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Then you play down the Megamine that nukes their whole field, and then you attack 3 times, and then you ditch a Komako and you do this. Like you could do everything. You're just like blowing your opponent up. Sounds pretty funny. I don't know if this actually, when paying the cost of this card, I don't think that refers to their recollection ability.
Just the
But I
cost.
might
to
be
put
wrong.
Just the cost to put the event into memory. Then
4 is a huge cost to pay up front. I'd rather be able to.
yeah.
Well,
I
it's
pay 4 to do
2.
nothing.
It's 2 ditch a card, I think.
When paying the cost of this, recollection's an ability that's actually not the card, right?
I don't think so. Maybe it applies to everything on the card.
Maybe we'll have to see how Bushi prints it in English.
Yeah, I'm sure Bushi will fill this card with declarative text, as they typically do for English releases. Heart of the Cards is really bad with this kind of stuff, unfortunately, in terms of like what this formatting means, right? Like where this goes. I would assume it means the 2/4. Otherwise, like no one would even try to play this, and I know people have tried to play this. So I don't know.
So it's a weird one. I don't think it's like a complete like joke of a card, but it's definitely like.
Oh no, you're burning for 3, but you're actually burning for 5.
Definitely some finagling, yeah.
Like I don't know if you can like ditch multiple Komakos. This
Can you ditch multiple Konokos for this?
If you could ditch 3 Komakos to do this, and like I don't know, like Fumio your opponent and like do some shit.
It says you can put a Welcome Komako in place of 2 stock. It doesn't say you can. Does that mean I can discard 2 Komakos and do it for free?
That's what I want to know.
I would like to know, because I don't know, combining this with like a Fumio turn seems pretty disgusting.
Think about how much you overplus with Konosuba sometimes anyways. Like, you can just discard your hand preemptively, then fill your hand back up with a combo. That card that looks at 4 and like adds a bunch to your hand, or a bunch of bunny girls, or like resonates or whatever. If you can actually set this into your memory for free by discarding 2 cards, I actually really like it.
There's this, the Komako 2/1, the 2/1 Union, and then you run 1 of the Stock Soul and 4 of the 3/2 Megamines. I'm telling you, there's some kind of deck here, and it's like really funny, but like I don't think it's like bullshit. And you have to like you run just enough Snotquas to play like 2 Fumios. You run like 3 Snotquas and 2 Fumios, and you like Fumio your opponent. You like ditch all your Komakos. You do this. And then, like, your opponent just, like, blows up.
There's no way you have room to play Aquas and Snotquas and the deck.
No, I think you can't. I think you could. No, wait. You don't have to do that anyway, because the big Megamine mills your opponent's entire deck.
Forces refresh, yeah.
Yeah, so you don't even have to play Fumio, so you're good.
Because a lot of these events, you have to have a Cosmo on your field, so...
Oh yeah, we run like the one that fucking.
Well,
sets your memory.
we're running the level swap Cosmo.
The level swap Cosmo, yeah. Well, no. Maybe we don't even have to. We could probably run just like a playtest night Cosmo, and it would work.
We got to get to the lab on this.
Yeah, this. I'm excited. I'm more excited to build this piece of garbage than other shit. It sounds really fucking funny. This is the Konosuba.
Dude, I can't wait for everyone to roll in every week with their fucking slime decks, thinking they're gonna memory compress me, and then I just slam a 2-soul and say, "Well,
Yeah.
what will be, will be."
You only got 3 turns to play, dude.
Nice hand-on corn on those Shizis. I'm killing your whole field.
Oh, they could still hand on
Yeah,
core.
they can still hand on core them when they go to waiting room.
Great, that's still another card that goes back into your deck.
Hand on core as many times as you want, dude. Oh man, this is
We're
hilarious.
done, right? Can we be done?
Yeah, we're done with the red.
Oh wait, we didn't rate it.
I don't know how to rate this. 'cause I don't
Okay,
know how
so
the
if
effects
you
are
can
there.
ditch multiple Komikos, this card I think is like probably like a C plus, maybe
C,
even a
yeah.
B minus. If you can't ditch multiple Komikos, I think it's unplayable. I think it's that bad. Like pay 2 at the end of turn. At the end of your wait. It's the end of your opponent's turn.
Discard a Komoko instead of paying the 2.
It's at the end of your opponent's turn.
It's at the end of your opponent's turn. Yeah, so you have to live through their next turn after you combo them.
Oh shit. Okay, no.
Well, that's what I was saying before. You do it preemptively. You do this at level 2 to set up for your kill turn. You put it on Walmart layaway.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it's
okay, yeah.
You may use it. That's
Okay,
cool.
yeah, it's like I see it after.
That's very spooky.
Like
Just your opponent just seeing that there.
You really need to have to be able to ditch 2 Makomikos. I'm not even paying 2 for this shit. You know, like I need to be able to pay 0 and ditch 2 cards.
What if you could pay 2, discard to put it in your memory, and then discard to do recollection?
I don't think I see. This is where we need the English wording because I don't even know how Hatsu would rule this. I think we'd have to ask like someone who reads Japanese.
C for Connor, comment on this video.
Yeah, tell us how this
What
card
the card
works
does.
after we've talked about it for a bit. Hey, at least red was longer than yellow by like 5 minutes.
Wow.
So
Yeah, now we're 75% done with the set.
oh no. Well, we knew this would happen.
Yeah,
It's just-
blue's short at least.
Yeah.
Finishing up next time.
All right. You guys have a good night. See you next time in blue.